Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. Welcome to the final pre-event press conference this year. It's the Motul Grand Prix of the Valencian community. Great to be back at the Ricardo Tormo circuit and great to be back in this wonderful city for the first time since 2023. It's round 22, the last round in MotoGP's longest ever World Championship campaign. And of course, plans for 2026 begin here in Valencia next Tuesday with an all-important one-day test. Joining us then for the final Thursday press conference of the season. It's a pleasure, as always, to welcome Marco Bezzecchi, riding for Aprilia Racing. A brilliant win last Sunday in Portugal for Marco, his second of the season, all but securing him third place overall in the World Championship. And for MotoGP fans all around the world, Marco, a belated happy 27th birthday for yesterday. To Marco's right, we're joined by Ducati Lenovo team rider Pedro Bagnaia. Pecco, a winner here in MotoGP in 2021 and in 2023. And twice here, of course, in Valencia, he has won the MotoGP World Championship. And completing today's lineup, it's Red Bull KTM factory racing rider Pedro Acosta. Moto2 winner here in 2022, set to make his race debut here this weekend in Valencia in MotoGP. Pedro in fantastic form at the moment, 7 podiums in the last 5 rounds. Gentlemen, welcome to all three of you. And Marco, we'll start the press conference with you. Once again, happy birthday for yesterday. You come to Valencia with really good vibes after such a dominant performance in Portimao just a few days ago. How confident are you, Marco, being the rider to beat once again here? And how much would another win be the cherry on top of the birthday cake to finish off 2025?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. It's true, we came here and our mood is good inside the box, and also for me, I'm in a good mood. Portimao was good, but of course now we have to concentrate on this GP. So let's try to work in the best way possible from tomorrow morning immediately, and to try to be competitive, and then make the best.
Got some more general questions coming up shortly for Marco. We'll come on then to Pecco Bagnaia from the factory Ducati team. Pecco, some amazing memories for you here, of course, in Valencia, but it's been a roller coaster last few weeks. You had the win in Japan, some struggles and some bad luck since then. The goal, obviously, is to try and finish 2025 on a high note in the best way possible. Do you expect to be in the fight for the win here again, or is it hard to understand what your potential might be coming into this final Grand Prix?
First of all, it's great to be here back after the disaster from last year, so very happy, great memories here. So I really hope to enjoy the weekend, and I would like just to have fun with the team and discover tomorrow already if we can fight for the top positions. This season is quite difficult to know before the weekend if we have the potential to fight, but we will try to do the best job as possible to fight for it, because I think the only way possible to finish this season in a good way is with a podium and the fight for the top positions.
For the time being, we'll come back to you very, very shortly, Pecco. We'll move on then to Pedro Acosta, riding for the factory KTM team. Of course, as mentioned, Pedro, you've been consistently in that podium fight for the last few Grand Prix. Incredible performances on the RC16. Valencia is the track where KTM has had more podiums than at any other track. So do you see this opportunity to finish 2025 really strongly and maybe get that first win?
Well, to be honest, not a lot of expectation around. It's true that here, last time MotoGP race here in 23, Jack was super competitive, also Brad. Paul was taking the first KTM podium here also in Valencia for this. Let's see how I feel tomorrow when I go out with the bike, and then let's see and try to work in the points around. It's true that we find a good consistency in the last couple of GPs, but still the last dance to go.
It is the last dance. It's the last round of the season, guys. The longest championship in history. As always, for all three of you, there's been ups and there's been some downs. Marco, we'll start with you. A new team, a new bike to learn in 2025. You've had some fantastic moments, of course, including last weekend in Portimao. How will you reflect on 2025 and your first season with Aprilia?
Well, it was a long season, but super cool for me. Of course, as you said, we had some up and downs, as is normal to have, but especially from one moment, from, let's say, for me, from Jared's test to now, was clear that we made a good step. Then, of course, was difficult to be always competitive through all the weekends. In fact, sometimes we were struggling a bit more, but for me, it was super important. I think that I grow a lot as a rider. I build a very good relationship with the team and with the factory in Noale. So for me, it was positive.
Pecco, I think it's fair to say 2025 at times has been quite a complicated year for you. What's your assessment of the season? And sometimes people say you learn more about yourself in the tough moments. So what are the lessons that you've learned this year?
I don't know. Honestly, it's quite clear that I had more bets than goods this season, and after the last 4 seasons, where a bad result was a 3rd place, I struggled to accept the reality of this season. I did all the season the best job as I could, and with the team, trying to understand, try to adapt to the 25 bike, but unluckily I didn't. So I was struggling a lot. The bike have a really great potential, because looking at Marc, he showed it, but for the rest I was just struggling. So I don't know if honestly I will learn something from the season. What I think is good to have clear in my mind is that I always try to adapt to it, and always try to be competitive. So this is something that will help me in the future. Hoping that in Tuesday, when I will try the bike, I will feel again with my feeling, and try to fight next year for the top positions.
And Pedro, clearly you've been the standout rider this year for KTM. You said yourself you've matured a lot in 2025. It was a difficult first part of the season. How will you look back on 2025? Because the second half, you've been super, super strong and super consistent.
Yeah, like you say, was a first part of the season to forget. We was really struggling without really understanding why. And then after maybe clear our mind, maybe change a bit the target, and see that maybe we have to find a bit more consistency to become a better rider. We was finding maybe something extra, you know. It should have like some up and down also after the summer break, but much more consistent in this top 5 or maybe in the podiums for this. We have to be happy in one thinking like this, but there's still being true that we was missing a lot during the season to be competitive as Aprilia improved that much, and Ducati is still the main manufacturers.
And just finally, another general question for all 3 of you. 2026 will start on Tuesday, of course, the winter testing program ahead of the first Grand Prix in Burao next year. By the time we do get to Thailand next March, what is the one main improvement you'd like to see from your bike and your factory throughout the winter? Marco, again, we'll start with you.
I don't know. Only one is difficult, because we are riders and we always break the balls to try to have many improvements. So maybe if I have to choose only one, probably top speed, the easiest one.
Pecco, for you.
Stability.
And Pedro?
Grip.
Top speed, stability and grip. It's a big Christmas list then for the guys on the stage here. That's enough from me. We've got 2 very special Motogp socials coming up very, very shortly. But for the time being, we'll take questions from the media. Thank you very much.
Pablo Juan Arena, de Dazón, España. This is a question for Marco and for Pedro. How many steps behind Ducati are you now? And if you think you can fight from the start next year with Ducati?
I don't know, because it's difficult to make a comparison for us. I'm riding the Aprilia, so I don't really know how is the Ducati working. I can only see the bike from my rivals on track. So difficult to answer to your question. Let's say that our target is clear. Try to continue improving and try to be able to fight with them for the good positions in the races. So let's try to keep ourselves focused, head down, and continue working.
What is clear, like Marco said, that we cannot really know the steps, but what is clear that we are not good enough. But also it's true that still now not only Ducati is the problem, you know. Now Aprilia is really strong. Honda looks like it's coming. KTM was improving from summer break to here. For this, looks like now the championship is much more close between manufacturers. For this, now is not only one problem, like 4.
Yeah, hi, Adam Wheeler. Question for Pedro. Did you make the best overtake this season?
I think that they choose me a wrong one. I make a better ones, to be honest.
Giovanni Zamagni, MotoET and Sky TV. I have a question for all of three. We did 22 races, 21, and this one is the 22. What do you think about this championship? Too long, or it's okay for you?
Depends a lot from the mood, because if you are going well, for sure you enjoy and you feel that the races are going super quick. In my case, for example, after Jerez, I have to say that time was flying. It's difficult to have 22 races with the motorbike that are in 44 with the sprint. So physically it's tough, mentally also, but if you are able to build a good relationship with your team and to feel good at the races, then we are doing what we love, so it's okay.
We are prepared for everything, and I think it's fair to have a calendar like this. We are enjoying riding, and honestly, doing more races south of Europe is nice, and we have good time there. In my situation, honestly, it's more tough, but it's what it is, and it's great that it's like this. Last year I was needing 1 more races. This season maybe 5 less, but it's what it is.
I think it's a good number. I mean, it's true that we spend a lot of time with the team, like they say, and it's good, even in the bad moments, to keep a flow. It's true that it's quite tough for riders that maybe get injured, because normally in the past you lose 1 or 2 races, and now you are able to lose maybe 4 in a row, you know, if your injury is not super big. For this, like Marco said, depend about the mood that you are. The only negative if you become injured.
David, past podcast. A question for you, Pecco. We've seen that Ducati, because of the concession system, Ducati has no concessions because, thanks also to your success on the bike in previous years, we've seen that KTM, Aprilia, Honda, Yamaha have all benefited from concessions. You have no wild cards, very limited testing. How difficult do you, also there are 2 fewer Ducatis on the grid this year. Do you think that's had an effect on Ducati's performance overall, and also your performance in helping to sort some of your problems out?
It's difficult to answer because I think our bike is the best one. I think I struggled this season, it's true, but in the last seasons, I was always super competitive, and I won doing many mistakes. So this season that Marc was there with the less mistakes, he won by 5 races before to go, and I think our bike is still much stronger than all the other bikes. So. It's true that having the test, having some concessions more, could be an opportunity to improve faster. In my case, maybe having more days of test could have been better, but the rules are there for make the championship more equalized, and I think Aprilia, Yamaha, Honda, KTM have used well their advantage with test and wildcards to improve their situations. But Ducati is still the best one, and I think we use well what we have.
Hello, it's a question for Marco, please. It's Dimitri from Greek TV. The Aprilia has been good for some time now at the fast flow tracks, Termas, Silverstone. This year it seems there's been a big improvement at the stop-go tracks as well, which wasn't the case last year. But at the intermediate tracks, which are tracks that are stop-go and fast flow, there's been a struggle more for the Aprilia, like Sepang, like Jerez. But at Portimao, though, you just won quite convincingly. And really my question is, have you found something that makes the bike perform better now at tracks that have fast flow and stop go? Or was there something different about Portimao?
I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. Just Friday and Saturday I was feeling good. Then Saturday evening we worked a lot to improve, and I was able to also change a bit my riding style to make even better. And then Sunday I felt even better. So I don't think it's a matter of track. It's just the way that things are like this right now. We were able to improve from Saturday to Sunday, let's say. But there were some times that we've been struggling, like Sepang, and unfortunately we wasn't able to find the right direction. So we must stay concentrate, and we must work hard to try to find all the solution when we have the possibility to do it. But regarding the different track categories is difficult to answer to your question. Sorry.
Hello, guys. Frank Bezzechi from Ziggo Sport. A question over here. A question to all three of you. All three of you are still fighting for P3 in the championship. I asked Alex Marquez earlier, what's it like not to have Marc as a reference here? I'm sure for you three this is maybe a little bit different because only one of you is riding a Ducati. But what's it like not to have the world champion and the guy who's been the reference for, let's say, the whole of the season, not to have him here? Does that make the balance of the championship a little bit different, maybe?
Well, for sure. Let's say that Marc puts always the level super high. So overall, in every track, he's able to be super competitive. And Valencia is one of the track where he's been in history super fast. So let's say that there is maybe a very strong rival less for sure during the race. So it's a shame because when he's here, okay, is more difficult, of course, but also this push you to try to make better and better to have Marc. So like this.
It's always difficult to answer to these kind of questions because Marc is there, so and was making the difference all the season. So we can only imagine that he was making the difference also in the last races.
Well, at the end, I think every of us always push to the 100% that we have, even if it's Marc or not. It's true that it's not as funny when the champion is not on track, but I think it doesn't matter really, because at the end we always push to our 100%.
Hi, the other Dimitris from Greece. A question for Marco. Marco, Luca, after the last race, said that Aprilia is the best bike in aerodynamics in all fast corner circuits. How do you feel this superiority of Aprilia in these high speed turns?
How does Marini knows how is working my bike in fast corner? This is the real question.
You can ask him in the ranch.
Well, I don't know if he's the best one. For me, for sure. I love my bike.
Alessio Brunori, Motori Online. Question for Pedro. Pedro, compare the beginning of the season. Has improved more the KTM or your feeling with the bike?
To be honest, the bike didn't improve a lot because we don't change so much. I mean, a fairing was helping, swing arm was helping a bit, but we still seen that we have many problems, that the tire consumption, that we are quite difficult to be competitive at the beginning of the races because we don't have grip. For this, it's true that at the moment that I start to forgot about the championship dream, I start to just try to get the 100% of my package. One day was a top 5, other one was I was struggling a bit more, and then was other ones that I was able to fight for the podium minimum in the sprint races for this. Maybe my mind is the one that grow the most. It's true that I was feeling also better with the bike. This is also true, but we don't have many changes like mechanical changes, you know, for this. It's quite difficult to say that the bike improved that much, let's say. Maybe we find also, since I have this heart pump surgery in my arm after health test, we find some different things, but the bike was not that different.
Gianmaria Rosati here, Motosprint and Corriere dello Sport here. Question for Pecco. Pecco, during this long and tough season, which was the best advice that you received, and if you can tell us from who? Thanks.
In this kind of periods, many people want to give advice to you, and honestly, I think the one that helped me the most, that I was trying to do it already, was to enjoy. And sometimes it's better to forget and just and the problems and just to enjoy. To change, also one that was good was to change your objective. Before, a good result was winning, and a bad result was finishing third. And now a good result is already finishing in the top 5. So I needed to change a bit the objective, but the things for me with this season was just to accept, to don't feel okay on my bike, and to don't being able to fight for what I know that I can fight. So this was the hardest thing to accept, but also one thing to enjoy was a good thing.